The internet is in shambles right now, and all eyes are on young Jock, Kendra Robinson, and Karlie Redd. Last night, Kendra dropped a post that nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for. A single photo, a baby's face, and one line asked, "You're a man about 2019. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Fans are dragging Jock through the dirt. Karlie Redd is Mia and Rasheeda. She was literally filming when the news hit, and what happened next was captured on camera in full dot. This isn't just another LHHATL scandal. This is betrayal on a level no one saw coming. A secret child, a hidden past, a love triangle that just became a family. Tree and Kendra. She's had receipts the whole time. Is this the end for Jock and Kendra? And how does Rasheeda even fit into all this? Let's break it down. Midnight in Atlanta. The city's quiet, but Kendra Robinson's mind is screaming. Her eyes are locked on her phone, and her thumb is trembling, not with fear, but with fury. She's had enough of the lies, of the cover-ups, of pretending to smile when deep down her world's been falling apart. And tonight, she's done pretending. At 12:03 a.m. sharp, Kendra posts a photo. No filters, no cute captions, just the raw truth. A little boy, maybe 5 years old, standing in front of a tricycle. Brown curls, soft cheeks, and eyes that could melt steel. But anyone who's ever watched even one episode of Love and Hip Hop knows exactly what the real shock is. That child looks exactly like young Jock. The caption is short, but it slices deeper than any confession Jock ever gave on camera. Since y'all love Jock so much, ask him about 2019. This child deserves to know the truth. I'm done protecting liars. And that was it. No comments, no tags, no context. But that didn't stop the internet from going into full cardiac arrest. By 12:08, screen recordings were everywhere. Fan pages were reposting, YouTube reaction channels were going live, and Twitter. Twitter was a war zone. #YoungJokeBaby was already climbing the ranks. But what truly lit the fire was Karlie Redd going radio silent. Within 15 minutes of the post, Karlie's Instagram disappeared, deactivated. No explanation. No backup page. Just gone. That was all the confirmation fans needed. One TikTok clip with 100,000 likes in the first hour screamed, "Karlie Ben had that baby." Remember when she disappeared in 2019 and said she was doing a healing retreat in Costa Rica? Nah, sis, you was giving birth. Every old photo was suddenly under a microscope. Blurry red carpet shots, sideways selfies from a club, old episodes of LHHATL where Karlie seemed off. Fans were playing detective, comparing baby photos, analyzing jawlines, and even matching dimples. But while the internet investigated, behind the scenes, real chaos was already unfolding. Jock was in the middle of filming a reunion teaser with Rasheeda and Kirk when his phone started blowing up. At first he ignored it, assuming it was just another promo alert or some goofy meme his boys sent. But then Rasheeda's assistant rushed onto set with a look of sheer panic and whispered something in her ear. Rasheeda's face changed instantly. She picked up her own phone, scrolled for maybe 10 seconds, then froze. Her hand gripped the arm of the couch so tight her nails left marks. Jock. He was laughing at something Kirk said. "Yo, Jock." He looked up, still smirking. "You need to see this." She held out her phone. Jock's single quotes S smile faded in real time. "What is this?" he muttered, his voice cracking slightly. He tapped on the post, zoomed in on the child's face. He didn't say a word. He didn't blink. He just stood there, frozen, like the moment was sucking all the air out of his chest. Then he turned and walked off set. Producers rushed to follow him, cameras in hand, boom, mics above. They didn't know if this was real or staged, but they knew gold when they saw it. "Get his mic feed." Someone yelled. "Don't let him leave." Rasheeda wasn't done either. She threw her phone on the couch, stood up, and followed Jock into the hallway. Her heels echoed through the corridor like gunshots. "You really gonna act like you don't know what this is?" she barked, catching up to him near the makeup room. JOC rubbed his hands down his face, clearly overwhelmed. Kendra, tripping. Man, she doing this to make a point? Make a point. It's JOC. That kid looks just like your twins. He didn't deny it, not directly. And that silence said more than any words ever could. Back in the production booth, executive producers were already on a conference call. Someone pulled up footage from 2019 when Karlie skipped a reunion and claimed she was dealing with personal health issues. Another voice said, "Start scrubbing episodes from that year. Look for anything about Costa Rica." Producers weren't just filming reality anymore. They were stitching together a whole damn mystery. Meanwhile, Kendra remained silent after her post. No stories, no follow-up, no press. But she didn't have to speak. Her message was loud enough to echo through every group chat in the love and hip-hop fandom. Back online, fan accounts discovered something even crazier. A deleted clip from Jock's IG Live back in early 2020, where he was seen talking to someone off camera, saying, "I told Karlie we can't go public. Not now." At the time, no one thought much of it. But now it's being reposted with red circles, arrows, and captions like, "He been hiding a baby." One burner account believed to be related to Karlie's cousin posted a now-deleted IG story that read, "If Kendra finally posted that, it means the DNA test came back. I told Karlie to tell him years ago." And that was it. Confirmation. Suddenly, everyone realized this wasn't just Kendra being dramatic. This was about a lie that had lived in the shadows for 5 years. A secret that could have changed the entire course of the last 3 LHHATL seasons and possibly ended Jock's relationship before it even started. Rasheeda stormed back into the green room, furious, pacing. "Kirk, did you know about this?" Kirk blinked, caught completely off guard. "What? No. I thought Karlie was doing her little spiritual thing back then. I didn't know no baby was involved." Rasheeda rolled her eyes. "This is why I don't trust none of y'all." And then, the final blow of the night came when a clip leaked showing Jock making a private call in the hallway, whispering, "Tell Karlie to call me now." Someone behind the scenes caught the audio and uploaded it. It racked up over 200K views in 2 hours. Now fans are convinced Jock's been hiding a child with Karlie Red. And Kendra finally had enough. The sun hadn't even risen yet in Atlanta, but the fire Kendra started online was already a full-blown inferno. Fans were tagging everyone from Moana Scott to VH1 to Zeus Network, demanding answers, reactions, and, of course, the receipts. But what nobody knew was that a much bigger confrontation was already brewing. And this one was about to get physical. Backstage at the studio where the finale promos were being filmed, Rasheeda was pacing like a woman on a mission. Her phone, clutched in one hand, the other tightening her ponytail as she marched past producers and makeup artists who had no clue what storm was about to hit them. She wasn't here to wait. She wasn't here to text. She was going straight to the source. Karlie Red, room 14, Karlie's dressing room. The door was cracked open just a little. And Rasheeda didn't hesitate. She pushed through without knocking. Karlie was inside, standing in front of the mirror, touching up her lip gloss. She looked up in surprise, eyes widening as Rasheeda stepped in, holding her phone out like a smoking gun. "Tell me this ain't your baby," Rasheeda said flatly. No hello, no warm-up. Karlie blinked. Her gloss applicator stopped midair. "Excuse me." Rasheeda shoved the phone closer. The picture of the little boy Kendra had posted was right there, filling the screen, the eyes, the smile. The same damn face Karlie had tried to hide from the world and from VH1 for years. "Karlie," Rasheeda said slowly, voice shaking but deadly calm, "don't play with me. Is this Jock's kid?" Karlie's lips parted, but nothing came out. "I knew something was off," Rasheeda continued. But damn, a whole baby, and you didn't say a word. Not to Jock, not to me. Not even when we were going through all that. Jasmine stuff, you sat there quiet like you had nothing to add, knowing you was hiding a whole damn storyline. Karlie finally spoke, her voice soft, defensive. I didn't know for sure back then. You didn't know, Rasheeda. Snapped. You disappeared for months in 2019. Came back talking about healing and energy and goddess retreats. Girl, you was healing from a whole labor room. Karlie looked down, avoiding Rasheeda's eyes. That was all the answer Rasheeda needed. You was pregnant by Jock, huh? She said while he was still with Kendra. Say it. Karlie's silence turned into trembling lips. She opened her mouth, but instead of a confession, tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean for it to happen like that, she whispered. We wasn't even supposed to. I thought we was done. Rasheeda took a step back, letting out a half laugh that was anything but funny. Girl, you been done with Jock for a decade, but you still sneaking inside doors and getting pregnant? While he's trying to act like he's finally grown up, Karlie wiped her face, still not saying the one thing Rasheeda wanted to hear. Does Jock know? Rasheeda asked. Did you ever tell him that kid might be his? Karlie swallowed hard. I told him once. Back then? But he didn't believe me. Said if it was true, I'd have proof. So I didn't push. Did you get the DNA test? Karlie didn't answer. Rasheeda's voice got low. Cold. Kendra got it, huh? Ah. She's the one who made it happen. Ah. You. Wasn't gonna say nothing till she forced your hand. That's when Karlie's emotions turned. The tears stopped. Her eyes flashed. Her eyes flashed. She hacked my business, Karlie hissed. That woman has been going behind my back for months, calling people, pulling records, digging into my private life. That's why I deactivated, because I knew she was going to come for me eventually. Rasheeda crossed her arms, so it's true. The kid is Jock's. Karlie didn't deny it, not once. Not anymore. Outside the dressing room, producers were hovering. One of them had his headset turned up full volume, whispering into his mic. We're getting all of this. Let the cameras roll. Inside, Rasheeda's voice dropped even lower. You realize what you just did to Kendra, right? That woman held Jock down through all kinds of mess. She put up with his wild phases, the disrespect, the baby mama drama, and now she got to find out about a secret baby. Through social media, Karlie scoffed. Don't act like Kendra some saint. She stayed with him for clout. You think she ain't know he was cheating? We all knew. But now it's a problem because the baby has my face. Rasheeda looked at her like she was seeing her for the first time. This ain't about face. It's about truth. Just then, Jock stormed in, face red, hands trembling. You told her? He shouted. Karlie turned toward him. I didn't post that picture. Kendra did, Rasheeda snapped back. And she had a reason. Jock rubbed the back of his neck, pacing. I ain't even know for sure. Karlie said she wasn't gonna test. She didn't want drama. I thought it wasn't mine. You thought? Rasheeda echoed. Jock, that little boy looks just like you. He froze, swallowed hard. I seen the picture, and what now? Karlie asked. You gonna act shocked, hurt, embarrassed? You knew what this was back then. You just didn't want to deal with it. The tension was suffocating outside the room. Crew members were literally placing bets on who was gonna slap who first. JOC finally spoke again, voice cracking. I tried to keep my life clean for Kendra. I was trying to grow, be better, but everything kept pulling me back. Karlie shook her head. Nah, you kept going back. You never really left the mess. You just wore a suit over it. And Rasheeda. She turned to leave, done with the back and forth. Before walking out, she looked Jock dead in the eyes. You better talk to Kendra before she talks to a lawyer. Because the way this is unfolding, she's about to take you for everything you got. Jock didn't say a word. The door slammed behind Rasheeda as she left. And all that remained in the room was the sound of silence. And Jock's world crashing down. The moment Kendra's post went viral, it didn't take long for the internet to do what it does best: dig. Within hours, fan pages started posting old screenshots, blurry video clips, and long-forgotten footage from 2019. One particular clip started making the rounds. A Love and Hip Hop ATL scene that never aired leaked from someone claiming to work on post-production that season. The clip: Karlie Redd standing in a dimly lit hallway, wearing an oversized hoodie and nervously clutching her stomach. She was talking on the phone to someone viewers couldn't hear. But her words were enough to send shockwaves through the timeline. "They can't find out? Not now," she said in a hushed tone. "Especially not Jock. He's finally back with that lawyer chick. I can't be the reason it falls apart again." That lawyer chick was clearly Kendra, and the timestamp on the leaked footage, September 3rd, 2019. The comments exploded. She'd been hiding the pregnancy. This was the same time Jock was posting pics with Kendra on vacation in Miami. Bro, this whole cast is moving like a mafia. Secrets, fake breakups, secret babies. Another resurfaced moment came from Karlie's brief exit during season 8, when she claimed she was traveling abroad for a personal journey. Fans were skeptical then, but now they're convinced that was a cover-up for her low-key pregnancy and delivery. Even wilder was the fact that Karlie had avoided nearly all reunion tapings during that season, citing emotional trauma. People thought it was about Mo, her ex-fiance, but now the theories are shifting. Mo ain't the problem. Jock been the problem, and that baby just confirmed it. Instagram story archives were also being pulled from the grave. One fan reposted a selfie Karlie took in a silk robe with a caption that read, "Healing myself for me and my future." The date: just 6 weeks after the alleged due date based on the child's current age. Then came the cherry on top. Someone posted an unreleased behind-the-scenes video from Jock's old radio show, Streets 94.5. The footage showed Karlie visiting the studio for a surprise drop-in during an off-air moment. Jock's reaction: awkward, shifty, sweating bullets. But the most important moment was when Karlie leaned into the mic jokingly and said, "If I popped up pregnant, what would you do?" Jock laughed it off on camera, but off camera, he whispered to his co-host, "Don't let her play like that. That ain't funny." Now, with the baby picture out, that old clip hit different. TikTokers were editing everything together: the leaked footage, the pregnancy hints, Jock's sketchy reactions with dramatic music and captions like, "He knew all along." Kendra was the last to know. Again, the baby ain't the scandal. The timeline is, even blogs started weighing in. One gossip site claimed an anonymous source from VH1's casting team confirmed that Karlie did asked the network to remove all mentions of her medical leave from Season 8 storyline. Why? Because the real reason wasn't medical. It was maternity. Meanwhile, Kendra hadn't posted anything else since the original bombshell. But her silence was louder than any response. Her followers had doubled overnight. Even verified accounts were dropping supportive comments like, "You deserve better. Thank you for standing up for yourself. That child deserves acknowledgement." Suppose these lying industry men. Jock, on the other hand, was nowhere to be found. He hadn't gone live. He hadn't released a statement. His management was silent and his phone was off. But VH1 cameras were rolling, and insiders confirmed he had refused to leave his trailer. Since Rasheeda's confrontation in the studio lot, tension was heavy in the air. Kirk was pacing with a producer, whispering about whether they should push back the finale shoot. Rasheeda was in full makeup but refused to film any scenes until she got clarity from Jock, Kendra. She wasn't on set, but word was she was on her way. And Karlie was sitting in her dressing room alone, phone off, watching clips of her name trending for all the wrong reasons. The crew didn't know what to do. Do they continue filming, cancel the episode, or lean all the way into the chaos? Guess what? They leaned in. One bold production assistant pitched something wild: a flashback package to air during the reunion where old clips, unseen footage, and fan theories would be stitched together like a murder mystery episode. Mona's gonna love this, someone said. The editors gotta work. Every past moment where Karlie looked queasy, every scene Jock avoided talking about 2019. Every time Kendra looked like she was questioning something, it was all being pulled, reassembled, and prepped to air with dramatic voiceovers and slow-motion zooms. The title they drafted: What Happened in 2019? Back online, fans were still adding fuel to the fire. A user posted side-by-side images. Jock's baby photo next to Karlie's son. Same nose, same hairline, same half smile. I ain't no scientist, they wrote. But that boy is 97% Jock. Then the bomb dropped. A voice note leaked. Allegedly, Karlie's best friend, venting in a group chat saying she told me the baby was his, but she ain't want to deal with the drama of all his other kids. She wanted to raise him quietly. And just like that, the final piece clicked into place. Karlie wasn't silent out of guilt. She was silent out of survival. She didn't want to be another baby mama statistic in Jock's chaotic lineup. But when Kendra started investigating, Karlie's carefully crafted piece shattered. Now the baby was out there. The DNA test was confirmed. And every lie they all told to protect each other was unraveling like thread. And the scariest part? VH1 was ready to broadcast all of it, uncut, uncensored, and totally out of control. Kendra didn't knock when she walked into the studio. She didn't wait for an invite, didn't check in with producers, and didn't stop when security tried to ask who she was here to see. Everyone recognized her, but no one had ever seen her like this. No heels, no makeup, no glam, just a black hoodie, tied back hair, and a legal folder in one hand. She was done with optics. She was here for answers. The hallway went silent the second she entered. Assistants paused mid-text. Cast members turned and stared. Even Rasheeda, who had just come out of hair and makeup again, lowered her phone and whispered, "Oh damn, she really came." Room 7, Jock's trailer. She pushed open the door. Jock was inside, sitting with his head down, elbows on his knees, breathing like he'd just run a mile in dress shoes. "Kendra," he said quietly, standing up, trying to ease the tension. "Been meaning to." "No," she cut him off. "Sit." He sat back down. No defense, no excuses. Just obedience. She placed the manila folder down on the small table next to him. "That," sachet slowly, "is a copy of the paternity results, sealed, from the same lab your other baby. Mama's used, the same clinic VH1 works with for testing storylines. I didn't doctor nothing. I didn't pay nobody. It's straight facts." Jock stared at the folder like it was radioactive. "I didn't even get to hold him yet," he muttered. "I didn't know for sure." Kendra's eyes burned. "You didn't want to know. That's the difference. I was begging you to be honest about your past. You said it. You said it was clean. You said Karlie was just old history. You lied in my face for years." He opened his mouth, but no words came out. "You think I cared that he had another kid?" Shell said, voice cracking, but still sharp. "No, I cared that. You let me commit my life to a man who couldn't tell the truth unless VH1's check depended on it." Stood up again, slower this time. "I messed up," he said. "I know that. But it wasn't out of malice. I wanted a clean slate with you. No mess, no past. Just us." Kendra let out a small, bitter laugh. "You wanted peace while living in a war zone. Jock, your whole life is a mess. Every woman you've ever touched got the same story. You charm, you lie, you leave. And when the dust settles, the baby shows up." Jock flinched like her words were actual punches. "I never asked for this drama," he whispered. "No," Kendra snapped back. "You created it." He reached out like he wanted to touch her hand, to plead, to say anything that might soften the moment. But before he could, his phone buzzed loudly from the couch. Caller ID, unknown. He ignored it. It buzzed again. Same number. Kendra crossed her arms. Go ahead, pick it up. Maybe it's your next surprise. He reluctantly answered, hello. His face changed. Kendra watched his brow wrinkle, his eyes blink harder, his jaw lock. Wait, what? Are you? Sure, hold up. Slow down, what do you mean? Just step forward. What? What happened? He pulled the phone slightly away, still listening. The voice on the other end was loud enough that even Kendra heard it faintly. A woman. Emotional. Panicked? Familiar? No, no, no. No, no, she. What? Jock said, voice rising. Is he okay? Is the boy okay? Kendra's heart dropped. Is it Karlie? Jock nodded slowly, still on the call. She tried to leave town this morning. She got pulled over in Gwinnett. Cops found her trying to fly out without telling the father. She had the kid with her. Kendra's mouth dropped open. She was running. He nodded again. Someone must have tipped off the authorities about a custody issue, said it was flagged because of a pending paternity claim. They stopped her at the airport. Jock turned back to the call. I'm on my way. Don't let them move him. He hung up and stared at Kendra. She was taking him away, he whispered. No goodbye, no notice, just gone. Kendra's anger shifted for a moment. Confusion and betrayal clouded her face. She wanted to disappear before you could acknowledge him. Silence, I gotta go, Jock said, stepping toward the door. Kendra grabbed his arm. Do not use this moment to paint her as the villain. You gave her this silence that created this chaos. He froze, breathing heavy. I don't care if you run after Karlie, or if you fight for custody, or if you try to fix what's broken, she said. Just know I won't be standing behind you anymore. He turned around, searching her eyes. I still love you, he said quietly. Even after all this, I love you. Kendra didn't blink. Then prove it, she said. Not to me, to your son. She turned, walked out, and left Jock standing in his own guilt, holding the folder of truth in one hand and the weight of a broken family in the other, as the door shut behind her. Jock looked down at the sealed envelope. He didn't open it. He already knew what was inside. The Love and Hip Hop ATL reunion taping was never meant to be this. It was supposed to be wild, yes, emotional, always. But this level of raw, real, unpredictable truth, no one saw it coming. Not the producers, not the fans, not even Jock. They rearranged the entire schedule for this moment. It started like every other reunion. Mona Scott Young came out. The audience screamed, lights flashed, and the cast members sat in their places. Rasheeda and Kirk on the left couch. Karlie Red, shockingly present on the right, and young Jock, center couch. Alone, fidgeting, quiet. Kendra wasn't there yet, or so they thought. Mona opened with her usual fire. Tonight's reunion is unlike anything we've ever had before. Secrets have come to light, relationships have crumbled. And for the first time in Love and Hip Hop history, a truth too big to ignore has entered the room. The crowd murmured. Jock's foot tapped uncontrollably. Then Mona turned to him. Jock, before we move forward, there's something we need to address. He looked up, lips parted. The child. Kendra posted, is he yours? The entire room leaned in. Jock cleared his throat, eyes darting from Karlie to Mona. I got confirmation. I didn't want to believe it, but yes. He is, double quotes, gasps. The audience let out a collective whoo, chilly. Karlie rolled her eyes, arms crossed. He been new, she muttered. Mona raised a brow. Then why hide it? Shook his head. I didn't want to ruin what I had with Kendra. I was scared. I thought it would go away. I was wrong. Just then, the stage assistant walked out and whispered in Mona's ear. Her eyes widened. She stood up slowly, smiled slightly, and said, well, why don't we stop guessing and let the truth walk out on its own? Spotlight turned, curtains opened, and out walked a woman. Not Karlie, not Kendra, but an older lady, behind her, a small boy, about 5 years old, holding her hand. Dressed in tiny jeans, a button-down shirt, and a little chain. The moment he stepped into the light, the entire room went silent, because that child was a mirror image of JOC. Same eyes, same nose, same cheek structure. Even the same tiny smirk that Jock used to do on his early mixtape covers. One audience member shouted, "Oh my God!" Another gasped, "That's his clone." Jock stood up. Slowly, visibly shaking, he stared, mouth trembling. He looked like he couldn't breathe. The little boy looked around nervously, then looked up at the woman holding his hand. She smiled and whispered something in his ear. He nodded, stepped forward. Mona took the mic again. "Jock, meet your son." Officially, the camera zoomed in. Jock's eyes welled up. He walked forward cautiously, like he wasn't sure if it was real. He knelt down in front of the child. "Hey," he said softly. The boy looked at him, unsure. "You okay?" Jock asked, voice cracking. The boy nodded slowly. Jock reached out gently and held the boy's hand. Everyone could feel the moment crackling in real time. Karlie turned her face away. Rasheeda covered her mouth. Even Kirk looked like he was trying to hold back tears. Then the boy said something faint. "My name's Jace." Jock blinked. "Jace." The boy nodded again. "That's what Mommy calls me." A pause. Jock smiled sadly. "That's a good name." Mona gave the signal to the assistant to help escort Jace off stage. The moment had landed. And now it was time for the adults to speak as Jace walked backstage. Kendra finally entered. She had been watching the entire thing from the side, micked up but unseen. And now that the moment had happened, she stepped into the light. The audience cheered. Some stood. JOC turned around slowly, still teary, and saw her calm, poised, but unshakably done. "You didn't tell me he'd be here," he said. "You didn't tell me he existed." She fired back without missing a beat. Karlie finally spoke up, voice cracking. "You didn't have to bring him here like that. This isn't court." Kendra shot her a look. "No, it's worse. It's love and hip-hop. And I knew the only way to get real answers was to drag the lie into the light where y'all built it." "Mona," nodded Kendra. "You made a bold move. You didn't just post a picture, you changed the narrative. What made you go public?" Kendra looked straight into the camera. "I've spent years being loyal to a man who was never loyal to the truth. I lost sleep defending him. I covered up whispers. I smiled on red carpets next to a man who couldn't even tell me how many children he really had. I stayed silent because I thought that made me strong. But silence was just my cage." The crowd erupted. Even Mona looked shook. "And as for Karlie," Kendra continued, "I didn't out you to be spiteful. I outed you because I was tired of being the last to know. If you wanted to raise your child in peace, that's fine. But Jock wasn't just your past, he was my future. And you dragged that future into the dirt when you chose to lie." Karlie scoffed. "You think I owe you anything? I protected my son. I didn't want him to be part of this circus." Jock turned toward her. "You should have told me." "You didn't want to know." Karlie bit back. The whole stage was on fire now. Emotions were high. The truth was on the table. And Jock, he sat back down, hands on his knees, looking like he had just aged 10 years in one segment. And the audience, silent, moved, shaken. But they weren't done yet. Mona turned to the camera and said, "Next segment." Kendra and Jock go face to face. No moderators, no filters. It's just the truth and the future of their relationship on the line. The lights dimmed, the music played, and the world held its breath. The set lights dimmed as Mona gave the final cue. Everyone except Kendra and Jock was asked to leave the main stage. No producers hovering, no cast members whispering, no distractions. Just 2 chairs, 2 mics. It's people whose lives had just imploded on national television. Kendra sat first, crossed legs, shoulders square, no makeup touch-ups. She looked exhausted, but in control. Jock walked in after a long pause. The audience couldn't see what happened next, but the cameras caught it all. He didn't sit immediately. He stood across from her, staring like he was seeing her for the first time. Then slowly he lowered himself into the chair, rubbing his palms on his jeans. A beat of silence passed. Then Kendra finally spoke. "Why?" she asked softly. "Just why?" Shook his head. "I thought I could bury it. That if I didn't say it out loud, it would fade." "You thought?" "The truth would disappear," she said, voice rising. "You thought this baby, your son, would just vanish into thin air, like all your other messes." "No," Jock said quietly. "I thought I could protect what I had with you. I didn't want to lose you." "You already did," she fired back. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath. "I made mistakes." "Mistakes," she repeated. "You made a secret family." He tried to speak, but she kept going. "You looked me in my eyes for years and told me there was nothing else. No secrets, no women, no loose ends. You gaslit me into thinking I was paranoid, insecure, dramatic. All while Karlie was raising your child in the background." He didn't try to deny it, his voice broke. "I was scared, Kendra. You were selfish." She let the silence linger, then added, "And you were sloppy." That stung. Jock turned his body toward her, fully now. "I never wanted to hurt you. You've got to believe that." Kendra raised an eyebrow. "You really think that matters? Intentions don't erase consequences." He nodded slowly. Then Kendra leaned forward, elbows on her knees. "You want to know why I posted the photo?" He didn't respond. "It wasn't to embarrass you," she said. "It wasn't even to expose Karlie. I did it because I saw a message on your phone 3 weeks ago." Jock's head snapped up. "I wasn't snooping," she clarified. "It was open on the table. A text from Rasheeda." Jock froze. She said, and I quote, "He looks just like you. Are you sure Karlie's not telling the truth this time?" The entire studio behind the camera went still. "She knew," Kendra continued. "She knew before me. She confronted you about it before I did. And you still didn't come clean. You still looked me in my face every night and acted like I was crazy." Jock's eyes were wide. "I told Rasheeda I wasn't sure. You didn't tell me." He buried his face in his hands. "I was gonna. You always were gonna," she snapped. "Gonna be honest, gonna be faithful, gonna be better. But you never were. You were just temporary." Jock's hands fell to his lap. He looked like a man who had lost everything and still didn't fully understand how. Then came the moment no one expected. Kendra pulled out a folded paper from her back pocket and placed it on the table between them. "This is my exit," she said. "Not just from you, but from this show, from the circus, from pretending to be the perfect power couple when all we had was power imbalances and lies." Jock opened the paper. His mouth went dry. "It's a release," she said, "from my VH1 contract. I'm done." Jock stared at her. "Stunned? You walking away from all this?" he asked. "The fame, the fans, the spotlight." She smirked bitterly. "I walked away from the one thing I actually loved. You, the spotlight. That was just a side effect." It looked like he was going to cry. Then, before either of them could speak again, the door on the side of the stage opened and Karlie Red came rushing in. Face red, hands shaking. "You told her about Rasheeda." Jock's face drained of color. "You told her about that message." "That was private." The crew tried to stop her, but it was too late. Karlie stormed up, looking at Jock like she didn't recognize him. "You promised me you wouldn't drag her into this." "I didn't," Jock shouted. "She's on live Twitter talking about how you let Rasheeda take the fall for hiding your secret. I'm getting death threats now." Kendra stood, calm as ever. "Maybe don't make pacts with liars next time." Karlie's eyes welled up. This was supposed to be quiet. "I didn't want the baby in this. You kept him out of this for 5 years, Kendra said, voice cold. I gave him what no one else had the guts to give him, the truth. Karlie turned away, biting her lip, hands clenched into fists. Then she broke. I was scared, she whispered. I didn't want him to be like the rest of your kids. It's tossed around, part of the storyline, forgotten. She looked at Jock, tears streaming down now. You forgot about me, about him. You made me feel like nothing. She turned, running off. Set, crying. No one chased her. Back on stage, Jock picked up the release paper and stared at it. He held it in both hands, like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Kendra turned to leave. One last look. You don't have to lose everything, Jock, she said. But you just did. She walked out. The cameras faded to black, and for once, even Mona. Scott didn't say a word, so now the truth is out and there's no turning back. Kendra walked away from Jock, from VH1, and from every fake smile that held this mess together. Karlie read. She ran from the stage in tears. And Jock, he's left holding a son he never claimed. And a future he just destroyed with his own silence. But this ain't over. Not by a long shot. Will Jock fight for Jace? Will Karlie take him off camera? For good. And will Kendra ever speak again? Y'all already know. In the world of love and hip-hop, one secret leads to another. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and keep your notifications on because the next bombshell is already loaded.